And we are live for another First Bloodcast. I am joined by the welterweight champion and RBC middleweight contender, Harry Payne. Harry, how you doing this evening?
Doing pretty good, yeah. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic, and obviously some controversy this week. We're not really going to get into that right now, but for tomorrow, we have one of the biggest RBC cards of the year from Manchester, England, from Etihad Stadium, RBC 12. How excited are you for this just banger of a pay per view?
Yeah, I'm excited and I'm training very hard because I'll be fighting tomorrow on that card. So yeah.
Let's talk about your fight with Notorious Jones Jr. He is coming off a flash KO knockout of Triple Paul. You're coming off a tough victory against Iron Drake. So right now, what do you see in Notorious Jones Jr. that's going to present problems for you in that type of fight?
Volume, but I've pretty much looked at tapes. I've shut down a lot of stuff that he can do, and I've been training on it. And I'm pretty confident that I can win that fight. Yeah.
Considering this is a 6 round fight, and obviously Notorious Jones Jr. likes to throw a lot in the early rounds, do you see this going to a decision if you're able to weather that storm, or do you think this is going to be a quicker
It
fight?
will most likely go to decision, but if there's a knockout, it will be late rounds and most likely by me. Because you know what? Just ask a few questions. We'll go through it slowly.
And obviously, going to Etihad Stadium, I think the big thing that Raymundo is trying to do here is to get like a tour in England, uh, and to cap it off maybe in London with that mega fight between Cruzaro and Yaka that's probably in the works at this point. Uh, how excited are you to be fighting in Etihad?
Uh, Pretty excited. Haven't fun in there yet. So yeah, pretty excited. First time's a charm. Most like, hopefully, at least. So yeah, excited.
Let's get into the monstrous main event that everyone's been talking about. It's one of the biggest rivalries in the sport. Tams King and Gabriel Maldonado. Maldonado's coming on. This fight's been in the making for months now, and Maldonado's coming off a win against Rashid Khan. Right now, who do you think is the favorite in this one?
Most likely, Gabriel Maldonado due to activity because we haven't really seen Tams in that ring as much. And plus, to casuals, Gabriel Maldonado has the interim title. So them just seeing him fighting somebody without a title who hasn't fought in months, it's just a no brainer for them. So I feel like he'll be the favorite.
Yeah, and I do think that at that this point, Maldonado has showed us something that in the heavyweight division that we've only really seen from Bugatti up to this point is that the the counter striking is arguably one of the best we've ever seen in the heavyweight division. And he's proved that time and time again. And is that really what makes Gabriel Maldonado that dangerous, or is there something else in your opinion?
Yeah, he fights really good going backwards and forwards. He's pretty good under pressure, like I said. And yeah, I feel like he has really good counters to the situations. I think he has everything down. And I believe he can win, but for my official prediction, it's a little different.
And we talk about this is obviously a trilogy fight, and the last fight I think Tams King had no problem in that fight. Uh, Obviously he won the second fight, and history has shown that the winner of the second fight usually wins the third fight. But I think
Mm.
the main difference in this type of fight is that it took so long for this trilogy to go down. So Maldonado and Tams King have had time to evolve their games. So do you how much do you think of a factor that's going to be?
Big factor. It's most likely if it happened again, like if like a month after, like the second fight, I would see Tam King winning that fight. But now it's a little harder to pick and choose who's gonna win this, considering there was a huge gap between the second fight and the third fight that is happening tomorrow night. So yeah.
Yeah, and I believe it's a bigger gap than what we saw in the first fight. I think it wasn't very long between the first and the second fight. Uh,
Yeah,
but
was
now
one of
both
them.
guys have evolved their games. Maldonado has had that taste now of heavyweight gold. What do you think is more important for these fighters? Is it settling this grudge match, or is it getting that opportunity to fight for the undisputed title?
Both. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on both of these men, and it's awesome to see that they'll be handling that pressure and one of them will come out on top, unless there's a draw, of course. But yeah, it's just an exciting fight all around. That's what makes it exciting. That's what makes it good. There's a grudge match trilogy. Both men have finished each other. No, Tams didn't finish him, but he did dominate and would have finished him if the game wasn't glitched. So I'll count him as a finish as well, but technically didn't happen. But they're both 1-1, going to a trilogy, both winning, but in dominating fashions in their first and second fight. So that's what makes it exciting. And also, this can be a really good foreseeing future on what will happen with Bogatti and possibly Thames King or Gabriel Maldonado.
Yeah, and I think when if you get Tams King, you get a power war between both them. I think that was the fight a lot of people tried to think about when Bugatti got his undisputed title, was whether or not he was going to fight Tams King down the road. And now we have Gabriel Maldonado in the mix. And if we get Maldonado versus Bugatti, we have two of the greatest counter strikers in the division. In your opinion, what fight would you rather see? Would you rather see King fight Bugatti or Maldonado fight Bugatti?
I think I with Thames King, I actually believe he can beat Bogatti. I don't see Gabriel Maldonado beating Bogatti as much as I would like seeing it because I like Gabo. He's pretty cool with me, and I'm cool with him. I just don't know if he can do it, but because both men, they Gabriel Maldonado and Bogatti have good fucking counter striking, but I feel like Bogatti has more damage. He just knows when to do it. He has perfect timing. He's just amazing at what he does. I don't know if you know Gabriel Maldonado is on that level yet. I feel like he's a little below, but it could definitely happen where he can win. But I feel like Bogatti will come out on top. And with Tams King, well, we haven't seen him fight on. Oh, well, we have seen him fight on the new tools, haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
Well, but there's a new health system, and I feel like it favors his style a little more against someone like Bogatti, who is all damage and counter striking.
True. And that's one of the big question marks is whether or not Bugatti will change that striking system. But let's get into the co-main event. Uh, this is a very interesting fight. I don't know too much about the storyline right here, but this is for the WBA super middleweight title, which I don't think has been a belt we've ever contested in
Oop.
the RBC. So, do you have any perspective on this fight between Mizzy Paul and Dodo Paul?
I've seen Mizzy fight. I haven't seen Dodo fight. What I know from Dodo is that he used to fight, but now he did it until and he finally came back to fight tomorrow. And Mizzy, I saw him have a decent performance against Jam Jones, last event, and he did decent, not bad, but he did get bullied. I feel for the rest of the rounds until he finally couldn't get up. But
Yeah,
Mizzy has good cardio. I'll give him that. He can he's good cardio. It's just his volume that he throws. He doesn't land a lot of it, and that's I feel what messed him up on against Jim. He just didn't land enough. He threw a lot, didn't land any. So I pretty much see Mizzy winning, considering the fact that I haven't really seen Dodo fight. Yeah, much.
yeah, and let's move on to the hang on, let me look at the card real quick. Uh,
Ugh.
in the fight before that, we have Aussie Divine uh, against Abdullah, and it feels like Aussie Divine at this point is having his comeback reign over the middleweight division. Uh, Taking on number 4 ranked Abdullah, he ran through Myron Yeager. He defeated Noah Alexis in a tough contest. This could be the big proving ground for him, though. Despite the fact that Abdullah hasn't fought in 300 days, this could be the biggest challenge for Ozzy Divine today, don't you think?
Nah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see Abdullah winning that fight. Not only have I not seen him fight at all, I just feel like it's wasn't 300 days ago on the old tools too. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing.
yeah,
We don't.
that's I don't if he hasn't been practicing or fighting in side leagues at least, no chance.
Yeah, I don't.
It's way different now.
And I think that's gonna be a very interesting fight. If Abdul, don't be surprised if Abdul does put a fight. We just need to know whether or not he's training. He has not been very open about what his camp has been like. Unlike most
Hmm.
fighters, I think Divine has given me some insight into what he's been doing. But yeah, we don't know what Abdul's been doing at all.
Yeah, that's true. We haven't seen any, tape on him. Well, at least I haven't, so I don't know how that's gonna go. But I do see Aussie coming on top pretty dominantly in that fight. But I wouldn't be surprised if Abdullah just comes out of nowhere and starts doing good for himself. So yeah.
And besides, this is one of my favorite fights on the card. Despite the Maldonado fight and your fight with Notorious Jones, this could be one of my favorite fights on the card. A fight night candidate, Jam Jones and Kenny Young. Jam, I've said this. I've said this a few times. Kenny Young is one of the greatest defensive fighters I've ever seen, but Jam Jones is one of the best later round fighters I've ever seen fight as well. So
Mhm.
this is a very good matchup. What do you think? What are the keys for this fight for Kenny Young to beat Jam Jones?
Pressure, pressure, pressure. Smart pressure too. If he, I feel like he has that too. He can easily defend. Probably try to gas Jam Jones, and then start doing his damage from there. But I don't know if he can do it. Last time he tried, it didn't work out. But he is a different fighter now. I seen his last fight against 1-0 Grand Peace, you know.
Yeah.
But he ran through Grand Peace with no problem. But if I'm gonna be honest, if we're gonna compare Grand Peace and Jam, it's gonna be blown out of
It's
the
a big
water.
step up in
Jam is
competition.
gonna fight back with smart pressure again. He's just gonna try bullying Kenny Young in there, but I feel like it will be a war. I just see if it doesn't end early, Jam is just gonna pick up on and pick apart Kenny Young himself and gas him out, and then just start landing whatever he wants.
It's what we've seen Jam Jones do so many times now. Is that he's one of the smartest fighters out there because he picks you apart. Because it's like I think it's like how Piotr Jan fights a lot, is where he will he will analyze you for the first 2 or 3 rounds, and then he will gather that information and just start going crazy on you. We saw him do it against Notorious Jones Jr. We saw him even do it and win probably almost every round in that fight against Mizzy Paul. So I think it's definitely another possibility of seeing that again against Kenny Young.
Against who again?
I think it was,
Mizzy?
yeah, Mizzy.
That'd be a good fight, I feel. Because Kenny Young will probably be in his space, and Mizzy could have an easier time landing, if he hasn't fixed that already, of course. But, it'll be a good fight. Yeah.
And I want to ask you this because obviously I had you on the show, so I want to get your perspective on this. Do you think that Kenny Young should have fought you before he fought Jam Jones?
Well, it makes sense if he would have fought me a little more. I see why he gave Kenny Young the title shot. His record's pretty nice. But he fought a 1-0 guy. I fought a 3-1 guy. I feel like 3-1 is just more experienced and is a little better than just 1-0.
True.
That's and he only got that 1-0 against Hunter Finley. Not to disgrand or anything, but that's not the most impressive thing. I feel like me versus Kenny would have been a good runner up for a title contest against, probably Jam or Aussie. But, I completely understand. It's whatever. I'm just gonna demolish NJJ, steamroll him.
Considering the
Yeah.
fact how stacked the middleweight division is, you have NJJ still in the mix. I think Triple Paul moved up. You have obviously you in the division, and you have two great champions, and Kenny Young and Myron Yeager in the mix. Uh, do you think the middleweight division is going to be in a good spot where it's going to have a lot of competition in the future?
Uh, yeah, RBC as a whole has a bright future. I'm hearing left and right, you know, there's gonna be new titles. Feds are like popular feds are gonna have a chance to put RBC titles on the line in their fights, like sign fighters to different signed organizations. It's gonna be worldwide. It's gonna be awesome. It's just a bright future for RBC in general, not just the middleweight division. And I'm excited to see what comes next.
And obviously, all the controversy that's been surrounding Rogue Combat recently, I think we have to talk a little bit about it before we get to the
Hmm.
UFC. Um, RCL is shut down for a little bit. I think everyone knows what's been happening the past week or so. Give your take on what's been going on recently and what changes need to be done to prevent something like this from happening again.
Well, I'm gonna talk about Tyler. I completely understand why he did it. He's been dealing with this. Can I curse? Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
absolutely.
Yeah, he's been dealing with this shit for 3 months now. Just complete hell of everybody being egotistical. being thinking they're entitled to everything they want, trying to do things that they're not even supposed to do, like getting away with a lot of shit. Ty's been letting a lot of this slide, and I completely understand why he's gonna give everyone a break, just fix things in the meanwhile as well, make it a closed, gated community,
Hmm.
very tight community, to get rid of the toxic people, because there was a lot of people like that in Queens, and it's starting to turn like Queens. Like we have people in there that are sexist, racist, homophobic. It just needs to be cleaned out basically, and I feel like he's doing the right thing in doing that. But don't worry, we're gonna be back in 2 weeks most likely, and as he announced, RCL 44 will continue on June 8th, I believe,
Yeah.
and RCL 45 will start somewhere in June 12th, I think he said.
Two very fun fight cards too. I think the main event is still on. Dylan Oliveira takes on Boss Raymundo. We'll just talk about the main event here first.
Yeah.
This is one of the most important title fights in recent memory, in my opinion, because you have Dylan
Yeah.
Oliveira, who's an absolute veteran, 15 wins on his resume. He has a lot of experience. You can call him a journeyman, but lately this guy's been on an absolute tear. But he takes on one of the most perfect and flawless fighters in the sport, Boss Raymundo, one of the greatest strikers of all time. What is your favorite thing about this type of matchup?
It's gonna be. We have the pressure and accuracy of Boss Raymundo and all that damage he can do, all that forward pressure he'll put, especially with amazing defense to back it up. And then we have the amazing defense and picking apart of Dylan, not Dylan, yeah, Dylan Oliveira. It's just gonna be a fun fight in there, and I can't wait to see it. It's gonna be really good, considering the fact these are two completely different styles, and we'll see which one comes out on top. And I just have a feeling because I've been training with one of them that one of them is absolutely going to steamroll the other. I won't say who though.
I'm still a more recent fan. I'm gonna check the rankings real quick. Hang on. So I've been a, I've kind of been a little a newer fan. Why is Boss Raimundo number 7 in the pound for pound rankings? Am I missing anything there?
Well, he's 10-0. Yeah, last 5 or 4 fights were a good competition. So I see why he's even on the pound for pound list. I completely agree with it. And not only that, he is the lightweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
He is number 7, only behind, I believe. Let me check real quick. I have it right
Fred
here.
assists.
Fred, Antonio Lopez, and Dylan. Because, they just been in the game longer than Boss Raymundo. Well, not Antonio Lopez. Antonio Lopez has defenses on his belt. That's why he's currently at number 5 and higher than Boss Raymundo. He has defenses on the belt. And Fred Masvidal, I don't know, honestly. But I would have to say I don't think you can compare a mobile person to a PC person. So I see why he's up there, number 6. But Dylan's number 4. If Boss Raymundo just absolutely demolishes Dylan Volkanovski or
That would be
Oliveira,
top 5
whatever he wants to
easily.
be called nowadays, he will probably shoot up to number 4. Because not only did he demolish somebody with 3 defenses on his featherweight belt, he that guy has more defenses than Antonio Lopez and Fred combined. So he will easily shoot up to top 3 or top 4. He might even dethrone me, but I don't believe he can do that because I have 3 defenses as well, and it's
Yeah.
just weird. But I do see him easily shooting up to number 4 if he wins.
Yeah, and obviously, still think, despite all the controversy, the RCL is still in a good position when it comes to their competition in
It
general.
is, yeah.
And
We have a lot of competition now. Yeah,
we got another great fight at a RCL 45. I think we're doing,
rematch.
yeah, the trilogy between.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, trilogy. Fred and Blocks Cuffington.
uh,
Yeah,
Before we get into that one, do you think the decision in the second fight was the right call?
yeah.
Okay, because
I was in Blocks' corner. I was cornering him. He stuff wasn't working out, and I completely believe that Fred did win that fight fair and square.
yeah,
Yeah,
I did too. So I was just making sure, but I do think Blocks can do much better because the main thing was he was getting taken down a lot, and I think he had opportunities to finish the fight in the fifth round that he just did not capitalize on. So
it the
what
things
is
that happened was when he got taken down, he just didn't defend as well, and it paid off for Fred in the later rounds, like round 3 and 4, which he was just starting to put it on, just blocks, pressuring, taking those rounds away from him, which led him to winning the decision.
yeah, and now we're going into a
Trilogy,
yeah
a
trilogy.
2-0 trilogy, yeah.
And
Fred being 2-0 against Bucks Covington.
I think it's because of obviously he was a former double champ. But what does Bloxy need to do differently in this trilogy fight to correct the mistakes of that last fight?
Been better. Obviously, we've been working on it, defending better, wrestling him more, just so it doesn't look like he's just taking over in the wrestling department. Just do everything in our power to win that fight via decision or knockout. Where he's been training pretty hard. He's been taking this serious. He's also had RBC on the side, but he's been taking this as his number one priority, and I see why completely.
Yeah, very excited for these next two events. We have Glasgow, Scotland, and Rome, Italy. From what's
Roman
been,
Coliseum.
yeah, that's gonna be really fun. I can't wait to
I
see
don't
what
know
these.
how I don't know how RCL got the rights to do that, but they got their ways, I
Who
guess.
said we got the rights? But yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's gonna be very interesting. What that's gonna look like in general.
yeah, it's gonna probably just could be. Well, the Roman Coliseum already has seats, so there's not really gonna be any seat arrangements apart from front row. But I can't wait to see what they do with it. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. That's good. That I cannot wait for that fight. And what's been really cool these past few months in the RCL is that they've been able to expand where they've been. They were in O2 for your fight between you and Jalen Riley. They were in Madison Square Garden. Then they went to Vegas again. They went to Toronto. They went to an amazing show in Mexico City. They're going to do one in Scotland, and now they go to Rome. So this is going to be a
Yeah,
very fun next few weeks.
it is. Can't wait to see it.
So let's quickly go to the UFC real quick because we were just dropped one of the craziest fight cards of the year. Uh, where do we start? Amanda Nunes
Start from the
versus.
bottom of the main card.
Oh yeah, let's do that. All right, hang on, let me pull it up real quick. Uh, all right, here it is. So let's start with Magomed Ankalev versus Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith, known for that title fight against John Jones, still number 5 in the light heavyweight division. I forgot he was still there, but he takes on a very scary guy in Magomed Ankalev. So who do you see winning that fight?
Probably Anthony Smith. He has more experience. He has that championship experience. Sure, the guy might be a runner-up, but I feel Anthony Smith will take it.
Yeah, and let's go to Paulo Costa versus Luke Rockhold. Who do you got in that fight?
Ah, okay. So Luke, not too good on being known for that good chin of his. He's because he doesn't have it, of course. And Paulo Costa is known for that power. So if Paulo Costa does the right thing, even tapping the chin, just touching it at least, yeah, I think we see a knockout pretty early.
hmm
Yeah.
Surprised Rockhold is coming back. I mean, he's had a few unfortunate fights these past few bouts, but didn't Costa lose to a Vittori, right?
Costa did lose to Vittoria. Yeah.
Mm.
I agree with that decision. I think last fair square.
Let's move on to the heavyweight division. This is one of the most exciting fights on the card for me. Derek Lewis comes back and takes on Sergey Pavlovich.
Sergey
Pavlovich.
Pavlovich. Let's see. I think Derek Lewis has been on a bad run lately with the loss to Taito Ivasa and Cyril Gahn. But I feel like if he does things right and just finishes it, like this guy's number 11 ranked. I think he's got this. I think Derek should be a little higher. But I completely understand him being number 5 considering the streak and people being more of a title contender than he is right now. But yeah, I feel like he'll take the W in that fight.
I think, and besides the main event, this is probably my favorite fight on the card. Brandon Moreno, Kai Car France. I've been a big
We
Car France supporter over.
I've been one since like Kobe. He fucking Cody Garbrandt. He just
Yeah,
killed him like that.
that's
That's
what.
pretty much when I started knowing him. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think there are people who've been clamoring for this to get him an opportunity. I don't know why it's for an interim title, to be honest, but a very exciting fight. Who do you have in this one?
I gotta back my boy out, Brandon Moreno. I love Brandon Moreno. I've been watching him for since the freaking what is it? The first Kai Kara France fight. I've been watching him since that, and he's just been on this run until he finally fought Figueroa, which ended in a draw. Then him winning by submission, him sadly losing by decision in their trilogy bout. But don't worry, I think Brandon Moreno's got the fourth fight down if he can just get past. Kai Kara France has also been on a streak. It's gonna be a good fight. I just feel that I want Brandon Moreno to win, and I feel he will take the W
I really don't
that
know who
night.
I actually want to win this fight because I like Kai Kara France a lot. And
I like both, but I love Brandon Moreno. So
yeah, and like I like both guys a lot. I think he's one of my favorite fighters to watch in general, and I want him to get that rematch because I thought he won that fight against Figueredo. But you also have the fact that we we do want some variety in the flyweight division. And I think Kai Kara France does bring that.
mm, yeah.
As well,
Next fight, main event. Wow.
and this is the fight. I think this is the fight I've wanted since that first fight ended.
Yeah.
Juliana Pena, very interesting how the fight ended. First of all, is that
Yeah.
Amanda did a
It's
quit. All right,
she got frustrated. She was getting outboxed on the feet. I felt like she should have just kept her composure. It's fine. It's a 5 round fight. She can easily take a round off. Just not get hurt too much. Juliana Pena just had the reach and started like plowing her with these just jabs left and right. Jab, 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 jab. She wasn't even throwing any power shots. She was just throwing some stiff jabs. Amanda could easily avoided it. I don't know if Amanda trained as hard, considering she probably thought, "Oh, I'm gonna run this person over. It's Juliana Pena. Who cares? I'll just show up, run her over, stay double champ, and go on with my life." But that is so different to what happened. Oh my god. She won the first round, I will say. The second round, she was just getting, as I said, demolished with jabs until she fell down and got submitted because
Bes-
she was tired. Yeah.
besides Rose knocking out Whaley, that like this that upset was probably like one of the greatest reactions I've ever had to a fight because I was going absolutely nuts. I was like, how the hell is she doing this? And
Biggest upset,
it's the biggest.
possibly
It could be the
in
biggest
history.
upset. And what I've noticed from these upsets is that a lot of them, like the first round, the favorite kind of dominates, except for the Rousey home fight. But in the second round, they just go crazy and some incredible finish happens. Example
Yeah.
is Silva versus Weidman. But yeah, I mean, in this rematch, I think the big key for Nunes is stay composed and don't get frustrated in this fight. That's all she needs to do. But Pena, the confidence is so crazy that I don't know if she does lose this fight.
Yeah. I I can easily see an upset again, honestly. Like it can easily happen from what I saw in the first fight. She isn't even that bad. I feel like she has the right place and the high ranks. But if Amanda Nunes can get it done and play her cards right, she can easily win this fight. But so can Pena.
Yeah.
So it's just a good fight when you don't know exactly who's gonna win in that one.
I think the thing to remember is that I think people are kind of putting down Pena a little bit, saying it was a fluke because she did lose to Shevchenko. She did lose to Durandamy. I think Durandamy. I can't be fully sure on that one. But she has lost some high level competition, so I think she has improved though, and I think there has been a confidence that built up inside her that, to be honest, I'm predicting Pena to win that fight.
I I can see it again. I can completely agree with your point and see Juliana Pena winning that fight. But again, Amanda Nunes, she just has to play her cards right. If she makes one mistake, I feel that Juliana will just capitalize on that, frustrate her, and then just come out with another win. You know. But I can easily see the upset, even a knockout in there for Juliana Pena this time.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a That's
Let
pretty
me make
obvious.
let me make an official prediction just in case I'm correct.
All right.
Controversial opinion. Juliana Pena beats Amanda Nunes split decision. Boom. All right. If it happens, it happens. I'm the best. All right.
If you didn't know, now you know. I actually, so I jokingly made predictions for that pay per view. I said Charles Oliveira is gonna win because I don't see many ways Poirier could have won that fight. And I also jokingly said I think Pena's gonna win because how that fight week was going, how she was talking smack to Nunes, and I saw some similarities between Rousey and Holm somewhere down the line. I don't remember truly where it was. I think it was just more the intensity of that fight week. But yeah, I actually did think somewhere down there that Pena would win, but I didn't think it was going to be like that.
Yeah. It just surprised me. It was a crazy fight from the start. So yeah, it's good. Good fights. Good fights.
And
Big drama show coming on.
before we wrap it up, is there anything going on in boxing that we need to talk about?
Well, Benavides is like about to fight. I think
Oh,
like he's
cool.
fighting today tonight, and I'm gonna be watching that.
All right.
So I think he's gonna win. Of course, it's Benavides. I feel like he's gonna take over and just demolish his opponent. I see a Canelo fight down the line for him, and I feel like he will win that fight. So yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's
Anderson
pretty much
Silva.
all boxing. We do have a Javante Davis fight. Sure.
Oh yeah.
We have that coming.
And just
Yeah.
one more thing before we wrap it up. Anderson Silva won a
Just
boxing
won his
match.
boxing, yeah.
That's kind
By
of crazy.
knockout brutally. Jesus.
All right, Harry. Thanks for being on. This is
Oh man.
very important weekend. Obviously, I'll see you tomorrow for that huge trilogy fight. King versus Maldonado. Don't miss it. Harry,
We'll
any
be
final
fighting on it.
thoughts?
Uh yeah, nothing really apart from be there, watch the fight. Great event, RBC event of course, never fails to impress people, you know. See you there, guys.
All right, and that'll be all. Thanks for stopping by, Harry. All right, bye, everybody.